Hi, my name is Chris Drury. I'm the coordinator for Eastern Early College, and this video is an orientation for new instructors for concurrent enrollment. Congratulations on your approval. We hope this information is helpful as you get started with offering your first Eastern course. The first thing to point out is that we have an overview of policies and guidelines for instructors and site coordinators at the high schools. This is a Microsoft Sway document, and I'm going to go through some of the main points from this now, but we encourage everyone to read through this document very closely before offering your first course. All right, so first off, just a note on the application process. We know you've all already gone through this process, and just a reminder that for any new courses you might be interested in teaching, you would go through the same instructor approval process each time, as each approval is for individual courses and instructors. Next item I wanted to point out is that you'll be working closely with a faculty liaison from the university. This is either a part-time or full-time professor here on campus, and they will be your resource for everything needed in terms of your curriculum and instruction of the course. You can go to them with questions about assessments, what kind of things are typically done on campus in terms of offering the course in the spirit of Eastern's on-campus offerings. So each instructor is assigned a faculty liaison who should reach out to you shortly after your course approval, and they'll onboard you and then be your resource during each course offering. A couple of notes on syllabus submission. You'll need to submit your syllabus each year, even though you've already been approved for a course offering. Those deadlines are posted here in the document, and the syllabus will be reviewed annually by your faculty liaison, just to make sure that offerings are still in alignment with Eastern's on-course offerings. Student registration happens in the first few weeks of Eastern's semesters. So for full year courses and fall courses, that happens usually the last week of August and the first 2 weeks of September. At that time, students are going online into our Slate application and submitting their request to enroll. That's often done in class with instructors and site coordinators. We then email rosters to site coordinators. Those are usually counselors at the school, and they'll write back to verify rosters in coordination with instructors to make sure each student who submitted an application to enroll in the course is actually approved and has been deemed prepared by the instructor of the class and the site coordinator. Our cost is typically $25 per credit hour, so 3 credit courses would be $75, and typically that's something that each individual high school collects, and then Eastern invoices the high school, who then makes payment to our bursar's office. For the 2026-27 year, the application and registration fee is being waived, so there is no cost to students for that year. Grading policies and submission. We need to receive grades via an Excel spreadsheet we'll distribute, and those grades need to be entered on Eastern's letter grade system, which is outlined here. Historically, grades below C have been dropped from student transcripts. That's no longer the case. Any grade a student earns will be reflected in their Eastern transcript and counted toward their Eastern GPA should they matriculate here in the future. There is a new GPA forgiveness policy that allows students to wipe that GPA clean, essentially, if they want to, and they have to do that within their first semester of matriculation at the university. There's also a withdrawal policy allowing students to receive a W grade for the course that would not impact their GPA. That's 80% of the way through the course. Those dates will be communicated annually and depend on whether it's a fall-only course, a spring-only course, or a full-year course. In your first year of instruction, your faculty liaison will need to conduct a classroom visit. It's not an observation. It's just meant to be an experience where the faculty liaison comes into your class, observes the students at work, even collaborates potentially on lesson offerings, and then makes note on the course's alignment with Eastern's offerings based on what they've seen in their visit. After the initial year, these visits need to be completed only every other year for improved instructors. There's also discipline-specific professional development that's required in year 1 and then every other year from then on. That means it's a content-specific PD, and that is determined by the faculty liaison. So that can take a number of different forms, webinars, reading articles, discussing current research in the field with other approved instructors in the liaison. So the liaison will determine, sometimes in coordination with the instructors, what that discipline-specific professional development will look like. And it can be conducted online, or it could be tacked on to our annual end-of-year in-person events in May. Each course requires a Qualtrics course evaluation that's similar to the on-campus course evaluation that's conducted for every class offering. We ask instructors to get those out to students towards the end of their class offering so that students can anonymously complete those course evaluations. The data from those is shared with you as the instructor, but not with anyone else other than the faculty liaison. A note on student resources: all students and instructors are eligible for Eastern student accounts. As of now, instructors would need to request those through a Slate link that's included in the handbook here. Students are automatically assigned an Eastern ID and email account. We send out instructions to students and parents on how to activate that account. They can use that to access library database resources, which can be really helpful. And students are also able to request services through our academic advising office and tutoring. If they're interested, they can come to campus for those services and even conduct them virtually. If they're in a math class, they can also utilize our Math Achievement Center if they're here close to campus, and our Writing Center. Okay, we send out information on student FERPA confidentiality, meaning those academic records are confidential unless they authorize them to be shared with other individuals. And lastly, we want to point out that campus visits using bus transportation to get a student class here for a day has become a really popular option for the partnership. Students have a great experience here on campus. We'll usually help to plan an academic session with faculty members here. Sometimes that means sitting in with Eastern students in a class, or it might be a special lab or facility visit with faculty guiding them during that visit, plus a campus tour and lunch at our student cafeteria, which we usually provide. So we encourage you to coordinate with us in the Eastern Early College office, plus your faculty liaison, and any kind of campus visit, which can really strengthen the partnership and introduce the students to college life. Lastly, just a reminder that Eastern is seeking NACEP accreditation currently. So a lot of the implementation of compliance with those standards has been done, and things like discipline-specific professional development, classroom visits, and close partnership are all part of the spirit of NACEP. So hence the reason for our implementation of those in order to strengthen the offerings and to continue our NACEP accreditation efforts. We thank you so much for running a great course in the upcoming year, and we look forward to working with you. Thanks.